Alien. Romulus 2024. In the cold silence of deep space, a derelict mining colony drifts near a forgotten asteroid belt. Rain Carradine, a determined young scavenger, leads a small crew searching for abandoned tech. Their ship docks with the station, its corridors eerily dark and lifeless. Flickering lights reveal signs of chaos: blood smears, broken doors, and malfunctioning androids. Ignoring the warnings, Rain pushes forward, driven by survival and desperation. The crew splits up to salvage valuable equipment, unaware they are not alone. Something ancient, something deadly, lurks in the shadows, waiting patiently for new hosts to arrive. Rain and her adoptive brother Andy, a reprogrammed synthetic, explore the control hub. Andy detects corrupted logs hinting at biological experiments conducted by Weyland-Yutani. Meanwhile, another team member, Tyler, discovers a sealed lab. Against protocol, he opens it, releasing a dormant parasite. The creature quickly attaches itself to a crew member's face, causing panic. Rain rushes to help, but Andy warns her of the organism's lethal life cycle. The infected victim is brought back to the ship, where fear begins to fracture the group. Trust fades as survival instincts take over in the claustrophobic environment. Hours later, the parasite detaches, leaving the host unconscious. The crew debates what to do, but before they decide, the victim awakens violently. In a horrifying moment, a chestburster erupts, killing him instantly. Chaos erupts as the small creature escapes into the ventilation system. Rain realizes they are dealing with a xenomorph, a perfect predator. Andy confirms the threat level is extreme. The crew arms themselves with limited weapons, sealing sections of the station. However, the alien grows rapidly, adapting to its environment. The station becomes a labyrinth of death as the creature begins hunting them one by one. Rain takes command, guiding the remaining crew through maintenance tunnels. She insists on reaching the station's escape pods. Along the way, they encounter a damaged android who reveals that the experiment aimed to weaponize the alien species. The android warns them that more organisms may be present. Suddenly, the xenomorph attacks, dragging a crew member into the darkness. Panic spreads as their numbers dwindle. Rain struggles to maintain control while Andy processes tactical options. The station systems begin failing, triggering alarms. With oxygen levels dropping, time becomes their greatest enemy alongside the relentless predator stalking them silently. As they navigate through zero-gravity corridors, Rain and Andy discover a nest. Cocooned bodies line the walls, evidence of earlier victims. Some are still alive, begging for help. The horrifying realization sinks in. The station was overrun long before they arrived. Eggs begin to open, forcing the survivors to flee. Tyler sacrifices himself, sealing a door to hold back the creatures. Rain is shaken but pushes forward, knowing hesitation means death. Andy calculates a route to the reactor core, suggesting they overload it to destroy the station and the infestation once and for all. Reaching the reactor chamber, Rain initiates the overload sequence. However, the system requires manual stabilization from multiple points. Splitting up again, the crew faces terrifying encounters in narrow passageways. One by one, they fall victim to the xenomorph. Andy displays unexpected emotion, choosing to protect Rain over mission success. Meanwhile, the alien adapts further, showing increased intelligence and speed. Rain completes her task, but communication with the others is lost. Alone with Andy, she realizes they are the last survivors. The countdown begins, and the station starts to tremble as the reactor destabilizes. On their way to the escape pods, Rain and Andy are ambushed. Andy fights the creature, sustaining heavy damage, but managing to wound it. Rain drags him forward, refusing to abandon him. They reach the docking bay, only to find one remaining pod operational. The xenomorph appears again, blocking their path. In a tense standoff, Rain uses the environment, airlocks, fire bursts, and debris to outmaneuver the creature. Andy sacrifices himself, holding the alien back long enough for Rain to reach the pod. His final words urge her to survive and expose the corporation's crimes. Rain launches the escape pod just as the station begins to implode. Through the viewport, she watches the explosion consume everything, believing the nightmare is over. Exhausted and grieving, She records a message detailing the events and the dangers of the xenomorph species. However, as she stabilizes the pod, she notices a strange substance on her suit. Her fear returns instantly. The camera pans to a hidden compartment where a small alien organism stirs. The terror is not over. It has followed her into the void, ensuring the cycle of horror continues. Drifting through space, Rain attempts to remain calm while devising a plan. She scans the pod and confirms the presence of the organism. With limited tools, she prepares to eject it into space. However, the creature grows rapidly, forcing her into a desperate confrontation. Using her intelligence and the pod's limited systems, she manages to trap the alien in an airlock chamber. Timing it perfectly, she ejects it into space. For a brief moment, relief washes over her. She believes she has finally escaped the nightmare that claimed her crew and nearly her life. As Rain sets a course for the nearest colony, she reflects on everything she lost. The silence of space feels heavier than before. Unknown to her, a tiny trace of the organism remains hidden within the pod systems. The film ends on an ominous note, hinting that the threat is far from eradicated. Rain's story becomes a warning, a testament to human greed and the dangers of playing with unknown life forms. The screen fades to black as a faint, unsettling sound echoes, leaving the audience with lingering dread and the promise that the nightmare will return. If you want, I can turn this into a YouTube narration script or add dialogues to make it more cinematic.